I'm going to speak a little softly. I hope you can still hear me okay. My wife is upstairs and has not gotten up yet. I do want to go on with my story here. This is, of course, the second part of the second year of my course, 10th day, first video. And I'm going to be telling you about my tour d'Europe, my trip through Europe. First, though, it's maybe too far to see. Later I'll pick the camera up maybe and show you closer. Here is a table of contents for what I want to do this year. My wife did the lettering. I could never letter so well. I think at the end of this video, maybe I'll pick it up and read down through that, pick the camera up so that you can see that better. All right, I traveled on Scandinavian Airlines, SAS, out of Dulles to Copenhagen and then on to Hamburg. And I'll tell you about that first. My daughter, Erica, whom you'll see a lot of her in these videos and pictures. We both left within minutes of each other from Washington Sunday evening. This was May 13th, I think. And I wanted to tell you that if you plan a trip like this, you want to stay off the weekend if you can. You save money. Also, things are not as crowded. I left on a Sunday night. It was the same price as Monday. And then came back on a Friday. In my case, my daughter came back on a Thursday. Well, she was flying to Paris. I was flying to Copenhagen and then on to Hamburg. At first, well, the idea of her traveling with me really came from my wife, who was worried about my traveling alone all over Europe like I was going to do. And it was a really nice thing for my daughter and myself. Erica, in the modern world, is more of a traveler and better trained. Okay, I found by the time I got to Copenhagen, I was in terrible shape. That surprised me. I knew that it was an overnight flight and it would be rough. But I think it's mostly because I didn't realize the seats were so close together and that I could not be comfortable for so many hours. And honestly, by the time I got into Copenhagen, at 7 o'clock in the morning, I was thinking to myself, I'm about to meet my friend Shirley. You're going to hear so much about Shirley in Hamburg, and I'm going to be too sick. She'll have to take me to a hospital, is what I thought. I really felt bad. And it surprised me. On the flight, I thought to myself, I am too old to be doing this. This is crazy. Well, I had a 7-hour layover in Copenhagen. I knew that. I got there at 7 in the morning. And I had a plan for that. And here's the plan. And I did this. I did not realize that Denmark does not use euros. Denmark has its own currency. That was stupid of me. I should have known. But I was going to so many cities and so many places that I actually didn't think that I didn't have time to get myself as researched as I should have. Well, in Copenhagen, I went to the Copenhagen Botanical Garden. You know, I changed money. I got a day pass into Copenhagen. And a day train pass. I got good advice at the airport. And then, it's on YouTube. I thought to myself, maybe I should just give you all the kinds of links. I was not filming yet. I was not in good enough shape to film, to be honest. But I went there, it was cold, it was in the morning, and I liked it. I liked it a lot. The Copenhagen Botanical Garden, it was wonderful. The best botanical garden I think I've ever seen is in Montreal, Canada, to the north. But anyway, it was practically empty. I thought, is it closed? Am I supposed to be walking around here? But I think it was a combination of being early and it being on a Monday morning. Anyway, very nice. It's on YouTube. If you're interested, you could see YouTube, somebody else's filming of their experience there. The Rosenborg Castle is right near it, and I walked to it and I walked around the grounds. That's a much more famous tourist attraction, I think, than a botanical garden. I didn't have the time to go into it, and I wasn't interested in doing something that intense. But again, you can Google these. You can find links The park around it, I walked all around it. It was not as appealing to me as the botanical garden because it was flat. Great for marching an army around, I suppose, is why it was like that. And that went fairly well, and I still had time. So I then went to the Fredericksburg Park. I thought, hey, I've seen one garden, I've got time, let's see another garden. I have a day pass. And I found it, and the palace at the top of a hill was great. And again, if you would, I will give you some links in the description for finding these. But I think really I need you to be researchers of your own if you're interested. Google these, or better yet, go to Wikipedia and Wikimapia. Wikimapia is also a way if you wanted to see, well, just where did Frank go, where's the airport, that I recommend as well. Now, at the front of the Fredericksburg Park, there were some trees. I'd never seen trees that had been, oh, I must learn the right pronunciation for this. I'll look it up before the next video. They had been pruned year after year after year. I know the word, but I say it wrong, I think. And they were spectacular on the terrace below that. And walking around it, there I saw this very strange looking building. It looked like the Eiffel Tower, but it was wood. Well, that's the zoo. That's the tower at the zoo. The Copenhagen Zoo is right near there. I walked to the entrance. I did not go in because I knew I didn't have time. And it turns out that I believe that's maybe the highest timber observation tower in Europe or something like that. You could see these if you want. Anyway, I made it back to the airport then. Oh, I got lost. I seem to do that often in a city. I end up getting lost and I had to ask for help. I got help from a kind woman. She spoke some English. And then I got back to the airport. The flight to Hamburg was okay. I was feeling slightly better by that time. And then when I got to Hamburg, there was Shirley, my friend. I finally got to see in person this friend, such a good friend that I've had for 2 years now, online. And she took care of me. I don't think at first she realized, or maybe didn't realize, how tired I was and how close to being sick I was. But in her care, she was able to send me on my way. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that tomorrow. For the moment, I'll stop, but I have 2 other videos